Well, we're just getting started. That was the message from President Trump in his first address to U.S. Congress since returning to office. In the longest congressional speech by a president in recent history, Trump listed what he said were his key accomplishments. They included downsizing federal government, reorientating foreign policy, and tariffs on foreign imports.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Let's talk to our correspondent, Kate Fisher in Washington. Kate, a triumphalist tone from President Trump, but some stark partisan divides on show at that speech.
Yeah, it was a picture of two sides of that room. One side, the Republicans, almost in a constant standing ovation, applauding everything Donald Trump said. The other side, the Democrats, seated, stony face, hands in their laps, even some of them holding up flashcards in a silent protest saying things like false and Musk steals. We also had a Congressman, Al Green from Texas, getting out of his seat, going and heckling President Trump in person, pointing his walking stick in his face, telling him he did not have a mandate to end Medicaid. He was removed from the chamber, which is highly unusual. There is usually a high state of decorum during these speeches. As for the content of the speech, it felt almost like a Trump rally more than him laying out policy agenda. He was really energizing his Republican colleagues and talking negatively about the Democrats. He went through what he sees as his achievements, things like cutting government spending. He touted Elon Musk, who is there, the world's richest man who's been in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, which has essentially gutted many federal agencies. He talked a lot about law and order and immigration. Some of his invited guests were victims of crimes committed by illegal immigrants. And he also talked about his territorial ambitions, things like trying to take over Greenland. He reiterated again that we will acquire Greenland one way or the other, and we strongly support Greenlanders' right to determine their own future. But if you choose us, we will welcome you into the United States.
The speech came just after the imposition of tariffs on major trading partners. Just a short time ago, the Commerce Secretary appearing to suggest a rolling back of some Canadian tariffs might be on the cards.
Yes, he did. Howard Lutnick just speaking a few minutes ago here in Washington, suggesting that this is not a trade war but a drug war, reiterating that this is about the passage of fentanyl across the borders, and that he spent yesterday on the phone to Canadian officials and they are promising to do more to curb that drug trade. But this all comes off the back of the markets responding really badly to the imposition of these tariffs. They plunged yesterday. Howard Lutnick saying that he is off to speak to Donald Trump, the president, now this morning at the White House to discuss this, and that he thinks there's a way of meeting Canada in the middle. He said tariffs will still happen, but perhaps there will be relief for some sectors, maybe automobiles. He said that an announcement on this is likely this afternoon here in Washington after he's had that meeting with Donald Trump. But we should note that Donald Trump yesterday in his speech at Congress did not give any indication that there was going to be tariff relief on Canada or indeed anywhere else. He was quite bombastic about his tariffs and didn't give any indication that there could be a change today. But Howard Lutnick seems to think there will be, although he made it clear that those reciprocal tariffs wider across the whole of the world would still be going into effect on April the 2nd. There would be no change there.
Kate, we'll speak to you later. Thank you for that. Our correspondent Kate Fisher in Washington.